In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a CRM-based system that has been built using SharePoint Online. My name is Dougie Wood. I am a Microsoft MVP, and I've been building out SharePoint solutions like this for the past 20 years. So if you need help building out a SharePoint solution, there's a link in the description below to contact me. Every business needs a CRM system. Now, you might already be using a CRM system. There's a lot of third-party systems out there like Salesforce, HubSpot. There's tons of different ones out there. They're all quite expensive, and not every organization really needs to be using them, or they're not using half the features that come with them. So you can build something very simple inside of SharePoint, and then you have no ongoing license fees. Once you've kind of built the system, you don't have to pay anything more for it, and it's very customizable. You can get to work exactly how you want. So what we've built out here is a bit of a CRM system built on multiple different SharePoint lists. So the SharePoint lists that we've got are things like accounts, contacts, and orders, and things like that, and they all tie together. So this system has a bit of a dashboard, but it also has a lot of more in-depth data in the background. So if we really wanted to drill into it, we can drill in at further levels. Now you can see here I've got my accounts, and if I was to select on a particular customer, let's say for example Green Tech, you would then see all of the different contacts, orders, sales pipeline, everything will then filter based on the account I've just selected. So I can then see the contacts for that particular company. I can see Sarah and Emma. Something else which I say, this is totally configurable. Have whatever fields you like. But I think it's pretty cool to have like who's the main decision maker. So for projects that I'm working on with my customers, yes, quite often there could be 3, 4, 5 different people that are all part of the project, but ultimately there's one person who's a decision maker that I need to make sure is aware of everything and is ultimately signing off the kind of paycheck for the project. So having a little tick box to show who's the decision maker can be really useful. By selecting on that person, as I say, we can open up a full form. We can see here we've got a full contact record, so I can see who this person is, what company they work for. Again, by clicking through to that, I could find out more information on the company if I wanted to. I can see their job title. Are they a key decision maker? Their phone number, email address, their preferred way of being contacted. But there's loads of things in a CRM system that you might want to tag against a contact, not just preferences on how they're contacted, but other things as well. So I've seen CRM systems where they're keeping track of things like what are their hobbies or favorite sports teams or things like that. So let's say, for example, if there was ever opportunity um, to give them a gift or something like that, then you know the types of things that they're interested in, or even just small things like small talk. Like if you're looking up someone before you went for a meeting and say, "Oh, okay, well, we know this person's a football fan and what football club they like." It's those types of things which can open up conversations a lot easier when, say, calling people, going for a visit. You can also log comments against any of these records. It's not just the contact record, it could be the company record or any of these other records we're going to look at, but you can add comments against them. So it might be something like, I had a chat with Sarah today. She is really happy with how the SharePoint project is progressing. And then this creates a little sort of like comments feed. And again, you can see who posted it, when they posted it. And again, it's really useful that if, say, for example, I was going to go and have a meeting with Sarah, I can have a quick look at any comments that someone else might have put in there and said, "Oh, I had a meeting with her. She was really happy." It's like, "Oh, great. I know what exactly I'm kind of walking into." Um, cool. So that's the contacts. Orders. So this is quite high level. We could obviously add a lot more information here, but you can see we've got some products. Now we do actually have a product list that we're sort of obviously putting in. Now, in this scenario, this dashboard is actually for a manufacturing company, so that they've put their products as like electronic control modules, gear assemblies, steel sheets, things like that. Obviously, you could swap out those products to be anything you want, but again, they're all kind of based on a list of products, and by clicking on them, we can kind of see full details of what that product is, any information on it, how much we sell it for, maybe any attachments, documents, product sheets, imagery, or anything like that that we might want to know about that particular product. It could all be stored against that product record. And again, whenever we sell something, it lists it for that customer. So by selecting on, say, green tech energy, I can see what products were previously sold to them. Again, it's really useful if I'm going for a meeting with a customer to be able to filter and say, oh, okay, I know these are the products that we've previously sold to them. And it can help from a sales perspective, upselling products based on knowing what they previously bought in the past. On the topic of sales, we can also maybe add in a sales pipeline. So what exactly have we sold to them? Obviously the company, the deal value, which can be sort of total. So if we've sold multiple things, that customer, it would add up to show how much money they've spent with us in the past before, the stage that it's at, who it's assigned to, and what month we maybe predict it's going to close. So all this is really useful kind of information. In fact, with a lot of customers I've been speaking to recently, even just high level knowing who's talking to different customers about what, so that there's no overlap, there's no duplication, there's no chance that there's two different employees going to be having the same conversation with with a customer. So it's all logged, it's all really clear and easy to see. In the same way, we often it's salespeople that use this type of thing, but it can be up for all sorts of different things. Logging activities. So when we spoke to someone, logging out a phone call, maybe a site visit to go and actually see them, and we can see, okay, that there was a site visit on this this on this date, and we went to speak to them about a SharePoint project or whatever it is that we was the purpose of the meeting was. But we can log all of that activity, and in a recent video as well that we did on this YouTube channel about sales dashboards, we also leveraged this functionality to be able to tag against it the actual individual salespeople, so that we could pull out activities and see how many emails or how many site visits or how many phone calls each salesperson was making, and then we created a bit of a dashboard in SharePoint to present that information. In fact, we'll take a little look at that dashboard later on. So customer tasks. So these might be tasks which are generated from, say, a site visit. So it might be, for example, they're asking us to send over something, or we want to send them a Christmas card, or whatever it may be. There may be some actions that we want to follow up with that particular customer. Hopefully not, but we can also document complaints. If there was any complaints, obviously we need to make sure we're sort of tracking those complaints and following up with them. So we can log those nice and easily within here. And again, by clicking it, I can see the full complaint form. And again, we can customize it. If there's any fields you want to add or remove, you can easily change those fields that we're capturing against each of these records. And then basically corresponding with that, if there was complaints, then you would expect to see some corrective or preventative type of actions which come out of the back of this, to make sure that it doesn't happen again. So for another customer or for that customer again. So you can see here we've got a gear assembly fitment issues is a complaint, and as a result we've got a corrective action here, which is for the gear assembly to be fixed, and maybe updating some documentation to make sure that it doesn't happen again. So that's the CRM dashboard. But as I say, this can then feed other types of dashboards. So, for example, a sales dashboard, where we can see um, a roundup of that information. So that information we saw on the kind of pipeline, we can see sales by month, maybe lost reasons, sales by type. So was it a project sales, was it a product sale, was it a workshop? The pipeline by stage. So is it qualified? Is it proposal won? And at what stage? So we've won, for example, this month 100,000, whereas we've actually got qualified 50,000, and we know we've got proposed 20,000. So we know we can definitely expect at least 20,000 to be coming in the next month. We can see what services were sold. So we can say, okay, we've sold some Copilot adoption strategies, workshops, training, things like that, or some SharePoint intranets, or maybe some SharePoint products. So things like our policy management system as a product is something that potentially we might sell into SharePoint. And then targets by salesperson. So each salesperson might have a particular target, or you could say as a group target, as a team, individually, you'd expect them to be bringing in 50K each. So we could say George and myself have hit that target, whereas Chris hasn't met that target. So all of this information is being pulled directly from that CRM system, and it's automatically being updated every time new data is being added. Check out the video on screen now for another great example of how a business solution has been built using SharePoint and the lists behind it. Please also subscribe to my channel if you've enjoyed this video, as it will ensure not only are you going to be updated when more fantastic SharePoint content is released, but also it's a free way of saying thank you to me to help my channel grow. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.